Hello and welcome to Divine Goddess Tarot. This is Jessica. I am here today for your goddess message for your feminine energy and the thing that makes us, well, it's all about creation and power and femininity. However, it's not always residing in just women. These energies are in everyone. As well as in masculine. We can't really be who we are without having both energies reside in us. And so I'm here today to, no matter where you identify, to tap into that goddess energy, your feminine power, and see what messages, because our world is truly in need of tapping into that goddess energy, love and compassion. And I know that femininity is associated with softness, and it is, but it's truly also it's solidly power, if I can speak today. It's one of those things that power is feminine energy, consciousness, direction, focus. That is all masculine energy. It's kind of like what I said the other day, is it's the string that holds the kite down, and the kite is the power. It is that feminine energy, and so we have to tap into both in order to have that balance. And so let's see what goddesses are with us today and what messages they bring, and we are going to go from there. Almost. Deep breaths. I hope your morning is going well, or afternoon. Been feeling a lot of that water energy with the Cancer moon that we have, or Cancer season that we're going through right now. Oh, that one is on the bottom. I can feel it. That's the one. Bridget, creative spark. I'm going to pull one more. I've been liking doing two just to see if there's a balance of energy and how the goddesses work together. Now remember, goddess energy is facets of yourself. And I know that one is the one. Oh, we've got two more. So yeah, we've got Maya, illusion, and we've got, I believe it's Mayat, it's truth. So I'm probably botching her name, but we're going to read those and see what they have. So we've got creative spark, illusion, and truth. And to go back what I was saying, is that we tap into all the feminine energies and flows, and if we see nature, it's the same thing. It's all these different energies and that we tap into, whether it be that creativity aspect. There's also the goddesses of illusion, which we've got here, Maya, and that's something that's in all of us. We have a beautiful light aspect as well as a shadow. And so when we move in and out of these different phases and multifaceted ways of being, we can tap into different energies and look at them to see if they are the light aspects or the shadowy parts. So that's where I love this illusion and truth. They couldn't be more perfect, being next to each other. And then we'll see what Bridget's doing here with that creative spark. We're going to see with tarot how it's going to all come together and see whose energy we're tapping into. And I'm going to grab all of those because they are clearly wanting to speak. So we've got, we're going to do this one because that one was first. So we've got 10 of Cups in reversed. We've got 6 of Wands in reverse. Temperance was upright. I moved those. So let me get this. And then we've got 3 of Pentacles in reverse, 2 of Pentacles, and we've got the Chariot in reverse, Devil in reverse, and then we have Wands upright. Let's grab one more. This is interesting energy. So Temperance here is really tapping into that truth aspect and energy. Oh, that one. So that's good. We've got the 6 of Swords that we're going to be moving from some of this negative emotion. So we've got the Devil in reverse, which we've got some Capricorn energy. Of course, we've got Cancer, Gemini. Yeah, so there's balance going on, and decisions. So I would say that with the goddesses leading this, it would be whether or not we're about to break through on two aspects of ourselves, of what is illusion and what is truth. And we can't really get anywhere without making that clarity, getting to the bottom of it. If the path that whoever this message is for is if they're on, if they are kind of deluding themselves on if this is the way to go. Because with the Chariot in reverse, you haven't arrived and you haven't gotten there, so you're kind of just, you're not pushing forward. And that really is right there, that goddess energy. Like, that's action, that's momentum, that's moving. And so it could be the Devil in reverse, that's kind of that stagnant energy of, it could be love. This could be a love situation, that because with the Ten of Cups being in reverse, I would say that is, it's marriage. It could be paused. It could be not going anywhere. The relationship isn't going anywhere. And with Temperance here, it really is talking about that emotional aspect of ourselves, to go within to our higher selves, our higher knowing, that we really do know. With this Nine of Wands, you've been beat up, and that, of course, I hope is just figuratively, even though it can feel substantially rough. This is a yes card. It's going to change. Things are changing, but you've got to do that. And with Bridget here, I love her as a goddess. I tap into her and actually pull her card often for myself, and that energy it's a yes as well. That this is going somewhere. It may just take a pause. Life sometimes happens. I've always believed that it's either butterflies or lightning bolts, and it's sometimes a little bit better when you step back into the butterflies, move when the lightning bolts happen, but really all momentum is forward, even if it is being with oneself, going within, taking it to heart, looking at the whole thing though, and seeing what is the illusion. I know that just how we're programmed, sometimes we can have an idea about something. I have changed so many belief systems through my life, just because I was running off of a program that wasn't mine. It was what was instilled in me, and that's what I was running off of. And then all of a sudden, when life is, listen to your feelings, because your feelings is your truth. I tell my son that all the time, that listen to how it feels, listen to how it's flowing, and if it's not, it may not be your truth. And so that's the message today, is I would say listen to that, because Temperance, she's got her feet in the water. That's emotion, that's her feelings. She's balancing those cups, but she knows, her higher self knows. That's a very spiritual Major Arcana card, where that's your nugget right there, is to tap into. And you're with the Six of Swords, you're moving, you're going, and you're headed there. You just have to keep going. Creative spark is something that maybe that's the idea of how to get out of this situation of feeling beat up, not moving, is that not being balanced in your feminine and masculine. This is, the two sphinxes here are very yin and yang energy, and that is quintessentially masculine and feminine energy. And so if we're not balanced in that, we can't get momentum. So it's kind of like, okay, if feminine energy is power and masculine energy is knowing and direction, we can be stuck with just our knowing. I know what I have to do. It's taking the step to do it. Or you're just moving all over the place and you're not really gaining any type of real direction. You're not making change. You're doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, as we know what the definition of insanity is. So to go back to this, it's getting in balance. It is definitely Two of Pentacles. This is something tangible. So this is something in your life that you it's a balance. And so to get into touch, yes, it is reversed. So to get into touch with that masculine and feminine energy, we must go within. We must look what is holding us back and then take action. And it's about really looking and making a plan. It's about, and if you don't have a plan, listen to podcasts. Listen to, I love audiobooks because I can do many things. I don't know who has time to read books anymore in the world without Audible, but I would never get anything read. And I read a lot in that way because it is what feeds my soul. It gives me new ideas, someone else's research, someone else's lives. There's an old poem that says, why live one life when you can live 1,000? And by reading, we truly do that. We are tapping into someone else's years of knowing or education. And it doesn't mean we live their life. It's we gather those nuggets that we say, oh yes, that is my truth. Oh yeah, that's fascinating. Or I have reread books in time to where all of a sudden what I didn't hear before all of a sudden was applicable. So it's the same thing. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so sometimes reread those books, go back, and as we change things, information changes for us. Like I say a lot of times in the beginning of the show, is that if something doesn't resonate with you today, that's okay, put it on the shelf, because it may another day. And so keep going. There's a lot coming ahead here. I'm going to read Bridget just for some clarifying and getting all of her wisdom, as well as Maya, and I know it's Mayette, I think it might be is how you pronounce it. So I'm going to look that up later so that I don't get it wrong next time. So let's do Bridget. Where are you? Here we go. The empowerment message. Inspiration and imagination are yours to play with right now. You are effortlessly connected to your inner creative spark and make meaningful and beautiful experiences for yourself and others. Take advantage of this fruitful time. When you are so in tune, it's like taking a magical trip to the land of the fairy, where all that glitters really is gold and your life seems to take like a grand artistic gesture. The fairy Celtic goddess of creativity calls you to play in the artistry of your life, your work, and your loves. Bridget is whispering her sparkling music deep in your soul, and the question is, are you listening? And so I am going to read her alignment message, because this could give maybe some further information of whose energy we're tapping into today, or what could assist you as well, if this isn't fully your story. Sometimes you get in a creative slump and you feel frozen in mid-air. Right here. Two Pentacles. Unable to move in any direction. Perhaps you are unsure of the next step with someone new, or a project becomes a looming behemoth in your mind. Or if you can't think of anything to say in a social moment, maybe you think all your best ideas are gone. Bridget offers you the alignment task of moving your attention away and remembering what it's like when you were little, when you finger painted and drew stick figures and played with your pals in the sandbox or playground. What moved you and lit you up then is the same creative spark that can move you now. Playful curiosity is what is called for. Don't take yourself or your current conditions too seriously. It's time to be free from the burden of expectation you have set upon yourself. Don't try so hard. The triple goddess of the hearth, the forge, and inspiration brings all her aspects together to help you sparkle. All right, and then instead of doing Maya, I'm going to do Mayat truth, because that's what we're going, and I don't want to be too long here today, but let's go ahead and do that one because I want you to tap into your truth. I think that's all we have time for today. Let's go to that one. No, actually, we should be okay on time. We'll do that. We'll do truth and then illusion. I changed my mind. See, that's feminine energy too. All right. 30. Here we go. There's great power in telling the truth and allowing it to lead you to higher ground. It's only when we refuse to see the reality of a situation that we lose our power to co-create for the highest good. The Egyptian goddess, Mayat, comes to remind you that if you are willing to do a fearless self-inventory and live authentically, with rigorous honesty, it will lead you to great success in all areas of your life. Being completely transparent with others, although it might at first feel too vulnerable, is exactly what you need to do now. When you do this, you will be flooded with the power to claim and experience a new freedom and new happiness that will pour over you like a wild, sweet honey. Your life is exactly where it needs to be. This is a wonderful time of empowered choice making. You are doing all the things. You follow the invitation of Mayat to live fearlessly in truth. As the arbitrator of balance and divine order, she reminds you of the great value of this way of being. So I love that. I love that because it goes right along with this. It is about living authentically. And when we're not, usually that's exactly when we're stuck. We're not feeling it. We're not feeling that effortless ability to move with our lives. We're not in the flow. And so that's where we get all of these reversals, all of this stuck energy, because we're not living in our authenticity. So take a look at that and see if that's something that gets to be shifted in you. Finally, Maya, the illusion. Let's see, here we go. When you look at the world, everything you see appears to be real. So it's easy to imagine that your current conditions are influenced only by obvious actions and calculated movements. This is an illusion, as everything is intrinsically connected, though not visible to us due to the limitations imposed on our perception by our five senses. Hindu goddess of illusion Maya calls you to trust that the invisible world is responding to your deepest desires and intentions to make a better life for yourself and others. You are able to see through the curtain of illusion. Your clarity and intuition is heightened as your next steps are sure-footed. When the goddess Maya chooses to help you, trust that everything you need arises from your world with ease. So that's this exact thing. This is the Temperance card. So you've got these two right here. And so this is you rising up, you having that deep unknowing that it's whatever you're going through. In some ways it's an illusion. It is an attachment. It could be an attachment to something, a way of, or that not living authentically as who you really are. So goddesses love being their authentic self. That is a really big energy that for me, like if I'm not in alignment, I'm not being authentically who I am. So I hope all these messages are serving you today, that there was something in it that you can take in your day to get your forward momentum of moving and taking those steps of being, not only being authentically yourself, being your truth, and then of course being in alignment with Bridget, the goddess of that creative spark, because that is Goddess Energy's creation. And so may this find you in such a beautiful light today, and I will see you tomorrow. Please, if you loved today's show, like, subscribe, share with another goddess or someone who loves Goddess Energy that's aligning theirs. And I will see you tomorrow.